Welcome back. It is Thursday, November 2nd in the NBA. My two favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin from Calling a Shot. Let's dive into a recap from yesterday, a 2-3 day, our first losing day since last Wednesday. We've obviously been on a really good run. We lost a little bit of money yesterday. Let's talk about the winners and losers. We had Dennis Schroeder's over and PRAs. The man crushed it. We appreciate him. And our other winner was day one of our ladder challenge. That did cash. Now, day two, I'm going to postpone it. We're not going to do it today. We'll do it tomorrow. A lot more games tomorrow. I'd rather have a lot more games to choose from. We obviously have a long season to get this done. I'll postpone it today. I don't really love this slate. I do love the two picks I cooked up, but I'd rather postpone the ladder until tomorrow instead of double dipping a ton on all the picks we have in today's video. Now, our three losers, Jordan Poole over in points. After the first, he had 10 points, was looking good, and then he kind of got benched the whole second half. Very odd. Michael Porter Jr., I expected him to get some shots out of the gate. He just happened to miss his first 4 or 5 shots. He obviously in the Nuggets got smoked. And then Cade Cunningham, 15 plus points and 6 assists. Jalen Duren was in there, and honestly, once Duren got ruled out, didn't love the assists as much. Duren is one of those guys he gets assists to. He ended with 4 assists. Just bad day, 2-3, whatever. We'll move on. We've obviously had a great run. We're going to have losing days. We're obviously can't sweep the board every single day. It's all right. Now it is Thursday, so our Thursday Night Football video is already live on the channel. I got 2 picks over there. That's going 2-0. Go check it out after this one. I'll link it down below in the pinned comment and in the description. Number 2, Sleeper also has a free square for Thursday Night Football. Derrick Henry to get 1 yard. If you don't know anything about the NFL, don't worry. Derrick Henry's awesome. He's going to get you 1 yard. So make sure if you sign up for Sleeper, use our code COS or the top link in description. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100. I also have a Sleeper entry at the end of this video. I would throw the free square in there. It's only available to new users though, and I'm obviously not a new user on Sleeper. And number 3, on our second channel, we'll have another video today. It'll be posted BetMGM's second game. We wanted to post it yesterday, but I think today's a better day. It'll be posted at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll link it at the end of this video. But let's dive into the picks. The first one's going to be a guy that's on the thumbnail. His name is the process, Joel Embiid. I like his over 28.5 points, -110 on DraftKings. Now, this line, I saw 29.5 on FanDuel. That's always, a thing. FanDuel loves to raise these lines, and especially when I post the picks early to Dub Club, FanDuel's always the quickest one to move their line up. And honestly, I think if Joel Embiid scores 29, he's more than likely going to get you 30 plus points. But I really do like Joel Embiid to drop a 30 piece tonight. And let's talk about him, how he's done so far this season. I mean, without James Harden, who's now been shipped off to LA to the Clippers, he still played pretty well. Scored 24 points on opening night, 9 of 21, then 34 points on 14 of 21 against the Raptors, who he plays again tonight, and then 35 points on 12 of 22 shooting. So he has gone over this line in 2 of 3, which is what you want to see. Now, like I said, he already hit the over versus Toronto, who we'll see again tonight. And this is the Raptors defense, which has been pretty good this season, but not notoriously double teaming guys as much as they did last year. Now, Raptors are coming off a absolutely smoking the Bucks, and Giannis and Dame Lillard couldn't get anything going. But I do think that on the road, their defense won't be nearly as good, and I don't think they're going to double him like they did when they were under Nick Nurse, who now is the Sixers head coach. And heck, I even think Joel Embiid and Nick Nurse have found things like, hey, Nick Nurse probably knew things that Joel Embiid struggled with, and he's kind of helped implement those into Joel Embiid's game. But we've seen Embiid a large field goal attempt usage in these first 3 games, 21 or more field goal attempts in all 3 games. So we know last year, if you bet any Raptors props, what you could guarantee, Nick Nurse ain't afraid of playing his guys 35, 40 minutes. We've seen that with Maxey, who I don't mind tonight, but I like Embiid a little bit more. Look, last season, we saw Embiid average 33.7 points per game at home. Obviously, James Harden helped out with that, but Tyrese Maxey is doing his own job, and I still do think Joel Embiid will get those looks continuously all season long. And we saw he's played pretty good at home. His only home game was a 35-point blowout win against the Blazers. And this game could be a blowout, sure. There's like an 8.5-point spread, but I still do think, if it is a blowout, you're not getting to a blowout without Joel Embiid probably playing pretty well. And I also think Maxey, who's played really well this season, is probably due a bad shooting night. And the Raptors are a team that's capable of forcing him into one of those. And I just think it's harder to double team Embiid now even more than ever because, sure, you had PJ Tucker on the floor for 20, 25 minutes. He's no longer there. Now you got Kelly Oubre Jr., a very capable shooter. I don't think you really want to double Embiid a ton. We've seen, I already said 21 field goal attempts in his all 3 games this year. In the last 50 games of his career with 18 plus field goal attempts, 3 this year, 40, I think 46 last year, and then I wanted to throw 1 just in the year prior, just so we had even 50. He scored 30 plus in 40 of 50 games. That's 80%, and he scored 29 points in one of those games, technically hitting the over still. 6 of the 9 games were also on the road. He's obviously played better at home, and I just think that's a big enough sample size for me to be okay trusting Joel Embiid. He's going to have a big workload. We know he can get to the free throw line. Jakob Poeltl can't guard him at all unless they double team him nonstop, which they could. Sure, they'll double team him, but Embiid ain't afraid of shooting over double teams. I really like him. Joel Embiid will take his over. Now, my second pick will be a same-game parlay, going to the Jazz and Magic game. Let's talk about these two fellas. Franz Wagner, 15-plus points, and Lauri Markkanen, 20-plus points. This is minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, for the people out there that are like, Austin, I don't have the ability to take alt lines like this, I honestly like both of these guys over in points. I'll give you a spoiler for the sleeper entry in a second. It's going to be, I have both these guys over in points in there, but I like both of them kind of lower down here because this could be a slower game and we could see these guys finish real close to the line. If Franz Wagner were at 17.5, which is where he opened, I would have probably taken that for just my one unit, but Franz loves ending on 18. Just trust me. But the next best odds for this is minus 115, the same on BetMGM, minus 123 on FanDuel, Bet365 a little bit more juiced. But obviously you could take both of their over in points. I probably lean towards Markkanen a tad more, but I really think this is a great matchup for Franz, who we'll start with this season. Franz averaging 18 points per game. He scored 19, 23, 16, and 14 points. So 15 or more in 3 of those 4. But the thing is, he's only shooting 37.9% for the field. That's down from 46.8 his rookie season and 48.5 last season. So we're seeing him shoot the ball still a good amount. He's just not knocking down those shots. I expect that to get better for a guy in Franz Wagner, normally pretty efficient. I mean, 46 and 48%, pretty solid from the field. And we saw, honestly, the biggest thing, if you've noticed from Franz, is an uptick in the three-pointers. He went from 3.4 his rookie season, 4.4 his next, or 5 his next season, 7.5 threes per game this season. That's a big jump. And Utah is a team that you want to take threes against. They're bottom 10 in threes allowed. This is a team that packs the paint, and you can score threes against them. And Franz did that all last year. He scored 26 and 24 points versus the Jazz last season. We've seen opposing wings and guards absolutely exploit this defense because they have the John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler kind of 3-man lineup in there. They can't defend opposing wings, which is why we see those guys go off, which is why I like Franz at his regular line, but 15 plus I think is assuring. I think he's getting that pretty easily. Also get to the free throw line if he's struggling. We saw last season he scored 15 plus in 61 of 80 games, 76% of the time, but he only scored over 18.5 in 44 of games. So we've seen him 17 games in there. He landed on 15, 16, 17, or 18. I think that's a large enough sample size for me to reduce him down to 15. I'm very confident he scored 15 tonight. I just think that line at 18.5 could be pretty sharp. I think he maybe ends with 17, 18, or 19, maybe even more. I don't even care. Franz, I like you, man. Let's go to Lauri Markkanen, though. Scores 20 points. And if you took Lauri 20 plus points in every game this season, you probably stopped betting the NBA. Why is that? Because you look at his game log, 19, 35, 19, 27, and 19 points. The man has ended with 19 points 3 straight times. I don't know how statistically the chances of him doing that once again are, but I bet they're pretty dang low because that is just ridiculous. And I think he gets over the hump tonight. This is a good matchup for him against the Magic. The Magic do play a little bit slow, but look at the games that he scored 19. 2 of them were blowouts, and I don't think this game is a blowout. I think the Magic are capable of keeping this game close. The Jazz are coming off a big blowout win against the Grizzlies. I think this is a close game. It might be lower scoring than people would want, but I still think Lauri gets us 20. And we've seen last season versus Orlando, he scored 31 and 28 points. He cooked them. And he has scored 20 plus points in 52 of 66 games last season, and he scored over this line in 40 of 66, which is why I'm taking the 20 plus because obviously it's safer. I do think that Markkanen can go out there and do his thing. He's the number one guy on this offense. Obviously coming off a blowout, he didn't notoriously do as well on back-to-backs last season, but technically didn't play those normal minutes in a normal game he did yesterday. So I do think that he'll be able to attack the hoop. It's a team and that probably defends him with Banchero, which I'm not too afraid of. So Lauri Markkanen, I think he get 20 points. We see number one options do pretty well against this Magic team. Despite them playing at a pretty slow pace, I do think that Markkanen can get us 20 points. I'll roll with him. And Franz Wagner, 15 plus points, 20 points for Lauri. Boom. That's minus 115. I wish it was plus value, but I'll also take the minus 115. I think that's a pretty good winner there. Now, finally, I'll wrap up the video with my sleeper entry. A reminder, they have a Derrick Henry free square. If you are going to sign up, it's only for new users. So make sure you use our code COS or the top link in the description to get that free square, and you can throw it into this same game or this entry that I got cooked up for you all. I threw $50 on it to win 288. It's Lauri Markkanen more in points, 23.5. Franz Wagner more in points, 18.5, and Joel Embiid more than points, 28.5. I really like all these 3 guys tonight. Obviously, Franz and Lauri were trusting for 15 and 20 respectively, but I do think of this max. So let's cash the sleeper entry. If you want to go check out my sleeper entry, which we talk about that again in our NFL video, go check it out. It's linked on the screen. You want to go check out Wembanyama's first ever game. I vlogged there. It's linked on the screen. And later on at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'll have my second NBA Wemby game. It will be linked on the screen as well. Let's have a great Thursday. Let's go 2-0. Don't force a ton of picks. Ladder challenge returns tomorrow. Let's just have a good day. Let's go 2-0 in the NBA, 2-0 in the NFL, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow with the brooms out. Let's have a day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.